everybody. Turn to your notes. I've got 4 new vocabulary words for you today from the excerpts from Darwin. I want you to try to use context clues, but I do think it's a little tougher with this particular reading, so I've provided some pictures to try and help you come up with the definitions as well. The first word is incipient. Darwin writes, "Again, it may be asked, how is it that varieties, which I have called incipient species, become ultimately converted into good and distinct species, which in most cases obviously differ from each other far more than do the varieties of the same species?" What do you think incipient means? If Darwin is saying he has named these species that are ultimately going to be converted into good and distinct species incipient, what could that mean about them? Take a look at the picture. What's happening in that picture? At what stage is the organism in this picture? Incipient actually means at the beginning or about to happen. If you have an incipient anger for someone, you're about to get angry. If you have an incipient love for them, then you're falling in love. The second word is immutable. Darwin writes, "I'm fully convinced that species are not immutable, but that those belonging to what are called the same genera are lineal descendants of some other and generally extinct species, in the same manner as the acknowledged varieties of any one species are the descendants of that species." What do you think immutable means? The picture is an example of something that is not immutable. Darwin believes that species are not immutable, but that they actually are the lineal descendants of some other extinct species. So what happened to that original species? What do you think immutable means? Immutable means unchangeable. So Darwin, of course, does not believe that species are unchangeable.
57398. Mabel Volker, please call 57398.
Sorry for that interruption. Darwin believes that species are not unchangeable. They actually can change. The next word is cosmogonists. Darwin writes, "It makes the words of God a mere mockery and deception. I would almost as soon believe with the old and ignorant cosmogonists that fossil shells had never lived, but had been created in stone, so as to mock the shells now living on the seashore." I think from the context of that sentence and the picture, you can probably come up with a definition for cosmogonists. Cosmogonists are people who study the origin of the universe. And the last word is progeny. Generally, Darwin writes, the most vigorous males, those which are best fitted for their places in nature, will leave most progeny. If you understand just a little bit about Darwin's theory of natural selection, you can probably come up with a definition of progeny, which means offspring. Okay, make sure you have these words and their definitions in your notes, and we'll have a little quiz on them soon.